Shalom, shalom, Mishpaka. I pray all is well with each and every one of you. I pray that you are doing thub, and on this wonderful Thursday that your heart is continuing to prosper in Yahushua HaMashiach, that your mind is continuing to prosper in Yahushua HaMashiach, and that your Ruach, your spirit, is continuing to prosper in Yahushua HaMashiach. I wanted to get on here and talk about how the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Really, in our flesh, in our carnal nature, there's nothing good going to come out of it. There is nothing good going to come out of doing what we think is right. There's nothing good going to come out of moving by our flesh, because it's just dust. So we know that he said, I know that man is just made of dust. So he has pity on us, because that dust will literally be our downfall, especially when we don't remember and humble ourselves that we are just dust. So what happens when we just go off of what we think and what we seem to know? We lead ourselves astray. Literally, the word says, a man will do what's right in their own eyes, but their end is death. The times of Noah, people were doing what was right in their own eyes, and their end was literally being overflowed by floods of water. So we're not supposed to be about doing what's right in our own eyes, but we're supposed to be doing right in Yah's eyes, even when, this is the hard part for some, even when we don't even understand the fullness of it. Many people don't understand the fullness of Yah's law, so they have a hard time obeying Yah's law. Many people don't understand the fullness of Yah's ways, so they have a problem obeying the ways that he assigned us to do. But one thing about Yah, he is perfect in all of his ways. He's implanted in each and every one of his chosen the ability to overcome. And that's why he says in his word, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So he implanted in each one of his chosen HaMashiach. He implanted in each one of his chosen the Ruach HaKodesh. So we have to come to the fullness of that, to activate that in our lives. When we're in sin, we gotta repent. We gotta acknowledge Yahushua HaMashiach as Adonai. You have to acknowledge him for who he is, the Melech HaMelekim, the Aleph and the Tav, the King of Kings. He is my Ab. I acknowledge, because I am not birthed in the spirit without Yahushua HaMashiach. And people like to say, oh, he's our kinsman redeemer, which he is in the flesh. He's our kinsman redeemer. In the spirit, he is our Ab, because he came from an eternal state to manifest in this temporary state, to bleed and to die as a living sacrifice, that through him we might have salvation, we might find redemption, we might find wholeness. But a lot of people don't even acknowledge him as Ab. So if you don't acknowledge him as Ab, or the fullness of who he is, how will you obtain his salvation? You don't even understand who he is. You see him in the carnal state. Oh, he came from Miriam. And then you hear the lineage of Miriam and Yosef in the beginning of Matthew, the Gospels. And some people can't even decipher that right. And so, but you're not looking that it says anyone who goes in any other way without acknowledging Yahusha is a thief and a robber. It says, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. There's a mystery in that. You know, only the Father seen the Son and the Son the Father. There's a mystery in that. So you have to go through the Son to see the Father. You have to duplicate the Son to see the Father. But if you don't acknowledge who He is, there's no way you can attain the fullness of the Father. And even then, in our fleshly state, we would literally die. So it's just so important that we live our life willing to die to the ugliness in ourselves. I had a moment today where I was just seeking God because I was struggling with certain things within. And I knew I was struggling. I knew I was feeling some type of way. And then Yahusha, literally, I was putting on my worship. And He was just showing me my error. Showing me my error. Not the error of anyone else, my error. And it was like I grew up in a lot of abuse. My nature was always, I would say, giving person. When I was a child, I would literally ask my money for money to give to the homeless. She'd be thinking I want it for somebody, like for myself. I'd be done giving it to the person across the street, begging for money. That was my natural nature, my pure nature. So what Satan does is he knows who you are. We don't even know who we are. But he do. So he'll find a way to corrupt that nature in you. And I was looking at my life and seeing how different levels of abuse in my life corrupted my ability to give, and can corrupt my ability to give in a pure nature. Because there's one thing when I willfully do it. There's one thing when I feel pressured to do it. And because when you feel pressured, even for me, it was like abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. So all these things corrupted my nature, and I was enduring pain, being abused, being taken advantage of. And then I, in a corrupt way, subconsciously, had made myself believe that that was okay. Made myself believe that that's a sacrifice, but it isn't okay. And it's not even an acceptable sacrifice, because once the sacrifice isn't coming from a pure place, it is no longer acceptable. Once Satan is able to corrupt your heart condition, make you bitter, make you angry, make you resentful, it's no longer a sacrifice. And a lot of things that this world, they've taught us to, you become altruistic, but it's a form of altruism, not true altruism like Hamashiach. It's like a form of altruistic that costs you so many problems in your life, that can cost you your own safety. And really, our safety is in Hamashiach. So when you are sacrificing for Hamashiach, He will give you a divine shalom about it. If you are not doing it according to His will and His purpose and His design, you'll start feeling all these negative emotions and feelings, because that means your heart posture isn't the way it should be. And when Yah was showing me this about myself, it brought me to tears. But then it also allowed me to renounce and denounce it. It allowed me to repent from it. It allowed me to see that, yes, my trauma don't need to have that power over me anymore. And I don't ever need to overcompensate to feel loved. I don't need to ever overcompensate. I can literally just be and be loved by Hamashiach. And this was healing for my soul, because we naturally will just do things because we're looking for validation from others. But at the end of the day, Yahushua HaMashiach is our true validation. All validation, all provision, all deliverance, all healing, all restoration is in Him. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. I love each and every one of you. I pray that you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful week. And until we meet again, much shalom, much ahava.